Void battery. Good day, Streaky Cat here with a LowLife crit freezing pulse build that utilizes a high usage of Flask's fast movement and cast speed. It is designed to be a fast and fun meta-breaking build for maps up to level 78 and as a try to increase build diversity a bit since I haven't seen any freeze pulses in a while. It is not meant to be a leveling build to reach 100 or shift the meta in any ways due to its lack of defensives, so keep that in mind. Our main source of damage relies on crits and cast speed, therefore we dual wield void batteries, granting us up to 8 power charges, flat crit chance and massive spell damage. First one is linked to Chaos Golem for flat physical damage reduction, Wall Discipline for boss fights and Purity of Ice to mitigate reflected damage. Second voice battery grants a 20% quality Herald of Ice, Curse on hit and Poacher's Mark, scaling our cold damage by 10% and granting us a frenzy charge generation on kill. If you're not blessed by RNGesus or want a more budget version of the build, you can swap the void batteries with Doriani's catalysts. The Vertex is a great helmet to use, providing us with evasion and a high amount of energy shield. We use Blood Magic level 20 Clarity for fixing mana issues, Discipline and Lighten level 3. All set links benefit from the +1 to level of gems affix here. Since we go low life, Chevron's wrappings is mandatory. Links are Freezing Pulse, Spell Echo, Faster Projectiles, Cold Penetration, Greater Multiple Projectiles, Power Charge on Crit. If you only have a 5 link available, remove Power Charge on Crit and either manually curse with Assassin's Mark, or replace Poacher's Mark on the curse and hit setup with it. 2 rings provide me with the required resistances I need. A nice affix here is Leo's Master Mod fastest start of energy shield recharge rate to compensate our lack of life leech. Relying on energy shield recharge rate feels kind of weird at first, but since we freeze the entire screen on most maps and are very agile with Flame Dash and Lightning Barb, it actually works out pretty fine. For tricky situations, use your Wall Discipline and pop your flasks. For the people who definitely want to use life leech, swap it out with Cold Penetration and get Ghost Reaver. The amulet grants us strength for the Blood Magic gem, cast speed, crit multiplier, spell damage and mastercrafted increased energy shield mod. Maligaro's Virtuosity grants us a high crit multiplier, dexterity and is linked with a low level cast when damage taken setup. To my opinion, the best triggered spell here is Frost Wall. On taking damage, it will cast a wall between you and the enemy, preventing projectiles from passing it, and blocking melee monsters. Freezing Pulse, on the other hand, has an inbuilt 100% pierce chance and will pass it, allowing you to continue attacking from behind. 2 free utility slots for your personal flavor are free in here. As a build, we should use the cold version of Doriani's Invitation, besides Handhunter, the best in slot here in my opinion. Boots are very good role on Rainbow Strides, used as movement utility with Flame Dash, faster casting, reduced duration and Lightning Barb. For the passive tree we spec into Crit Chance, Crit Multiplier, 2 power charges, Energy Shield and Energy Shield recharge rate. We also take the Cold Wheel on top of the Witch Stand, making it the best possible character class for this build. 3 jewel slots are filled with whatever you desire, varying from projectile speed over resistances to crit multi. I choose to go with the unique jewel Chill of Corruption, granting us an additional Wild Soul on shattering enemies, resulting in an increased uptime of Wall Discipline, which synergizes perfectly with our energy shield recharge rate nodes. A link to the full Skilltree can be found in the description at the end. Regarding total DPS and numbers, with 2 void batteries, 8 power charges and 3 frenzy charges up, we get a cast speed of 6.54 casts per second with a crit chance of 62% with 5 projectiles. This results in a total cold DPS of roughly 94,000 K. Not that bad, but since cold penetration is in most situations the equivalent of a 37% more damage modifier, and assuming my GMP is not level 6 but level 20, we get a real DPS of 137k. That's quite cool. Now, on top of that, if we pop our Aziri's Promise, we rise our digital EP to an amazing length of 136,000 meters, or DPS, for a few seconds of course. A few words on how to play. This build is pretty fast paced and therefore requires an active playstyle. I recommend on training to take advantage of all your flasks at all time, since they provide a great boost to this build and regenerate pretty quick. Since your mana pool relies on a constant usage of your divine mana flasks, you will permanently benefit from a 70% increased global evasion roll on it. Paired with a Jade Flask, it grants a great survivability against physical mobs. Still, this build's strength lies in high cast speed and mobility, therefore always try to kite with Flame Dash and Teleport. A Quicksilver Flask grants you the chance to remove corrupting blood stacks, which is very important in all high attack speed or cast speed builds. In case of dangerous situations, like opening strong boxes, facing bosses or encountering elemental reflect mobs, I recommend popping your Valve Discipline and Sapphire Flask, and hope for the best.